Welcome to Remelations. We're your hosts. I'm Mindy.
I'm Brooke.
Remelations is a dream interpretation podcast where we read listeners' dreams. From nightmares to the just plain bizarre, join us as we give you our comedic interpretation of your fucked up REM cycle.
Today, we're reading dreams about dirt basements and screaming homeowners.
We're also reading dreams about lions, cages, and very, very tall beds.
We're also talking about idioms and similes for sleep phrases and how they originated.
So you can either sleep tight, or you can stay around and listen to this amazing episode, bestie. So let's get started.
Woo!
Well, hey. Hi. Hello.
Hey, hi.
Happy summer solstice day.
Oh, yes, indeed.
Yes.
Did you do anything fun today?
No. Worked.
Mm-hmm. That's
Looked
fun.
at my messy house.
That's really
and
fun. Celebrate.
Yeah, no, nothing too
Celebrate.
interesting.
I guess that counts. I guess those are the normal steps you take on summer solstice. You clean your house. That's like tradition.
No, I did not clean my house.
Oh.
I looked at my messy house and just looked at it and decided I did not have enough time to clean it.
That's part of the celebration. You don't have to clean your house.
No, sure. However you want to celebrate summer solstice, you do you. And you celebrated by contracting COVID.
Finally.
Finally. Knock on wood. I have not, as far as I've ever known or tested, ever.
It took me a while.
But yeah, it took me a while.
I held out to the very end.
But you're here and you made it. You might sound a little more raspy than normal tonight, but
it's okay. It's just like PGV, party girl voice. Only it's because I'm sick and I'm not Lindsay Lohan. Hi, everybody.
Oh, sexy. I've never heard that term before. But she's here, and we've got some dreams to share, which is exciting.
We do.
Do you have one to start off with?
I do. Can I get started?
Please do.
This is Julia from New Jersey. I don't know why I said it like that. I blame it on the medicine. Okay.
It sounds sexy that way.
Jersey.
I like it. Yeah.
There has to be some way to make Jersey sexy.
I've only driven through Jersey. I've stayed there, but I mean, I driven through it, and it was what I expected it to be.
Yeah, I was on the boardwalk, like Atlantic City boardwalk once, but that was about it. So that was rude of me to say, but yeah, I've only driven through New Jersey other than that, and it was interesting.
I'm sure it's lovely. Julie, we'd love to come visit.
Please. Okay. So this is her dream. I was looking at houses on the Zillow and Realtor.com app when I noticed my dream house in my dream neighborhood was for sale again.
Ooh.
Best feeling, right? I was skeptical because it was for sale for $130,000.
Okay.
Down from $200,000.
That's a big price drop. Yeah.
Big.
Yeah. Why?
Right. Why? Now we need to know why. We'll get there.
Okay.
The photos had evidence that a prior hoarder had lived there.
Oh, no.
Yeah, not good. My realtor, friend, parents, and I all went to check it out. The current owners were there, and it was weird. The house wasn't as clean and organized as it was online.
Oh, no. It was worse?
Yeah,
it was bad to start in the pictures, and then it got worse?
Yeah, I feel like they're never as good as they look online when you look at those
photography
websites.
tricks and shit you can do to make it look bigger than that closet looks
all
like
the
it's
tricks.
30 feet long. No, it's 3 feet.
Right.
It's just
You've
a
got
really
that,
wide
like,
lens.
Fish-eyed wide lens
exactly.
or something. And it's like beautiful.
Yep.
Okay, so the kitchen was vintage appliances with a small fridge and small freezer separate. The house was a little bit of a letdown, but I was still interested. We go down to the basement and are speechless. The basement is 3 times as big as the house, but it's a dirt floor and it's huge.
Okay, wait. I don't know if I'd be digging the dirt. I don't care what size it is. If it's got a dirt floor, I might be like, I'm out.
Yeah, I don't. That's
really
a lot
dusty.
of room, but that's going to be a lot of renovation too.
Yeah,
so.
yeah, that's a cost.
A lot of
money.
work. A lot of work. There's a guy there with construction vehicles. He asked us why we are there.
It's that big. It's got vehicles.
Right? And we explained that I'm considering purchasing and wanted to see the basement. Check the furnace type. Is there a sump pump, etc.
She's thorough.
He's very friendly and says, makes sense. We are walking all the way across the dirt basement floor to the furnace when we hear rapid footsteps and yelling from the female owner.
Oh, God.
She stampedes down the stairs with her husband and the basement guy trailing, screaming, "What are you doing here? Who do you think you are? You just can't come down into someone's home like this. Get out. You have to leave."
Don't sell your house if you want people to look at it.
Are you wanting to sell this house or not?
Guess not.
Because
no.
people need to see the basement.
Yeah, even if it is a dirt floor.
Even if it's a dirt floor.
And it has vehicles.
And it has construction vehicles, lots of stuff.
I just picture like a backhoe.
They said it's a big place.
Really big. Spacious.
Yeah, right.
You get a really big sectional down there. And a giant TV.
You could have the biggest sectional of your life. If it is 3 times the size of the actual house.
Insane.
They could have like a trampoline, like a yard trampoline.
A workout area, a home office, an extra bedroom.
Make a whole indoor, outdoor living space.
Sounds amazing. But now with people yelling at you, it doesn't.
No. So the owner shuffles us out while I'm calmly trying to explain, "I'm sorry, but I need to see the basement. That's a realistic expectation. I needed to see if there's water damage, a sump pump, the HVAC." She screams, "No, you don't. That's ridiculous," and slams the door in our face.
Oh, no.
I don't think that sounds pretty ridiculous. I think that sounds like someone's looking at the right stuff.
You're being thorough. You're getting your shit checked off your list.
Oh, just wait.
Oh, my God.
You're going to like the end of this one the best.
I can't wait. I'm so excited. Okay.
My realtor calls this woman's realtor, and they asked if my dad was buying this house.
Oh.
But that when he explained it was me purchasing it, she was immediately skeptical of me.
Oh.
Someone this young buying her house. He explained that I'm in my mid-30s, currently own a home, responsible, but just looking for a better fit in a neighborhood I want to settle in. And then the basement thing happened.
Fair enough. I mean, it's not like we were in like the 1900s where women can't do things like own a home.
I am assuming Julia had this dream fairly recently and not in like the 1800s.
I would hope so. She'd be very old.
So we get to the parking lot and her real estate agent, Amber Heard.
Oh, no.
But
okay, I love this dream.
Same name, not person. But I just find it very odd that she...
Very current events. Wait, so it was her real estate agents, the homeowners, or Julia's?
The homeowner's real estate agent is Amber Heard, not the same person.
Okay.
I like how she didn't say like not same as the actress or anything. She just said,
but we know what you're talking
same name,
about there, Julia.
not person, because
we know.
I don't know what you call her nowadays. Anyway, she shows up. She's angry and she calls the woman and we ask if she even wants to sell. And Amber immediately switches the subject, talking about clothes and avoiding all real estate conversation. And then I woke up.
Do you actually have your license? Oh, then she woke up.
Maybe it was the real Amber Heard and just like, she's like, man, I got to try something with my life because
I gotta pay 15 grand or something. Or
million. I'm like, that's a big difference.
I've got to sell some homes. I got to get that commission.
Maybe she just needs to, focus into a new a career. So,
yeah, I think it's probably about that time for her.
Or maybe she should just lay low for a while too. Who knows?
I also
but
better.
I guess the first thing I wanted to bring up is the housing market. I mean, whether you're buying a home or not, everyone is well aware of how crazy it is right now. And I don't know if Julia is actually looking to buy a house like in real life, or because if so, this is clearly like a stress dream about that. Or she could be facing some other type of struggle that the mess and chaos and uncertainty that the housing market represents. So we need to figure out what's going on with Julia here.
And is there really one of those, dream houses? I know even like in my neighborhood, I'm like, oh, that house
That's
looks
a nice
Like
one.
you're in your town. You're always like, oh, that's a little, I like that lot, or I
Yeah.
like this about this house. And you're always keep an eye on that.
Keep
I mean, I don't
driving
know. I am
by,
at least.
checking out the situation, see if there's a for sale sign.
Not like I'm planning on moving, but you know, it's
gotta
always
look
nice
at
to
your
kind
options.
of peek.
So
Yeah.
then there's that price reduction part where it was weird. Like you
sketch.
have to be a little suspicious when something seems too good to be true, because it really never is.
Does the crazy homeowner come with the house? Is
Maybe
that the
that's
problem?
why there was such a steep price reduction, $70,000, and then you have to live with the owner.
That's a quick drop. Oh no, seems like an awful
I don't
idea.
think it's worth the price drop, if you ask me. So
No.
whatever she's dealing with that this dream might represent, you still have to go with your gut. And I think she did that, because I'm happy she brought like her entourage with her to see the house, because she was being smart about the situation. And no matter what the real issue is, she clearly has people around her. She's surrounded by a great support system.
Yeah, and it seems like she really is like a diligent, do your homework type of person then, if she's having that dream.
I agree.
Maybe she's on the cusp of something new, and she's just like, I gotta check all the options, gotta make sure this is the right move.
Something else.
Whether it's a new home or, you know, anything in her life. She's just relying on her little entourage. She's making sure all the boxes are checked.
But
you don't want to rush into anything.
You need that support, especially when crazy is happening.
Mm-hmm.
But this is my weird idea about the huge basement. And it could sound silly, because it's not typically the case when it comes to basements, but I think this basement represents a new start, like endless possibilities. It was so big, like kind of going just back to her basic, finding some kind of simplicity in life. You know, that dirt floor, it's just like
very simple,
just nothing but possibilities out there, really, what to do. But then, we got the crazy owner. It's like, she can't win.
No.
Just when she like finally saw something good ahead of her, this crazy lady like flips the script and brings it all the chaos back, the confusion, and just that negative energy.
It is kind of like a seesaw dream if you think about it. It's like, ooh, my house that I want is in the market. Why is the price so cheap? Ooh, it looks good. Oh, like it's hoarder dirty. Ooh, there's a big basement. Oh, it's dirt floors. You know, like it is kind of like that roller coaster of good, bad, good, bad.
You're absolutely cracking me up, because that was like literally what I was going to go into next. Because, well, first, okay, because I want to go there. But like the woman and being too young thing, I thought that part represents maybe something real for her. Like it could be legit happening in society right now, not being treated equally or respectfully. And, you know, maybe she has to work with someone who's got these antiquated ideas, you know, that girls can't do anything themselves, but then
pish posh.
And then I called it the tug of war. What did you call it?
Seesaw.
Seesaw.
Coaster,
okay.
Like a seesaw motion.
Yeah. So I said this dream is like a tug of war, and like I wrote down, I've been looking at this house already, but it was too expensive. Then the price dropped, and I'm skeptical of why. I go to the house, but bring protection.
Oh my God.
The house isn't what I expected, but continue looking around. Find a great feature in the basement, but the owner is crazy and screaming. So we are on the same page, Mindy.
Oh my God, we are on the same page. That's bestie telepathy
That's
right
connection here. It's like a pro-con list to, you know, buy the house, don't buy the house, but what does the house represent for Julia? That's what I'm curious. I mean, we can talk about it, but
she's only going to know.
Only she's going to know.
That might
but
represent.
So again, we kind of talked about it, but the realtor, Amber, clearly this answers all of our questions about the dream. I mean, couldn't be a more obvious representation of just sheer craziness. Good luck, Julia.
Wow.
That's what I say.
It is a frustrating dream. It was very long and very detailed. She did a great job of remembering all those details.
A lot of details, and she
very detailed.
She made it very story-like. Like you could see what she was saying. You said, like and unfortunately, what do you think that crazy lady looks like? Did you have an image of her?
Oh, I did, which is great storytelling, right? If you can picture what she looked like to
without
me,
even being described at all.
Okay,
physically.
I'm picturing someone who kind of looks like she's not crazy though. I was saying like my kid's past babysitter. She was like, you know, a woman in her, you know, mid 40s. She had, you know, kind of curly hair. shorter. She's kind of just wearing like a t-shirt and comfy clothes, like brunette. Like I just had a very particular idea.
I did too, but it's like couldn't be more different from what you just described.
Interesting. So we're still on the same plane on some things, but other things not so much. So how'd you picture her?
But that's okay because that's what it's supposed to be like. I pictured her as quite elderly, not like I'm picturing her more like in her 70s. Okay. And just kind of like a little woman, like white curly hair, and she's totally just wearing some kind of like button-up flannel and like jeans or something. And I wish she were a muumuu. Maybe I got to change my memory, but that's how I pictured her.
Oh, interesting.
So Julie did a good job of describing everything.
Yeah, and I think that she's that big thing that maybe she's facing, or the opportunity she's facing. She's one who's going to kind of look at the big picture. I mean, that's really what I take it as. You're buying a house, you have to look at the big picture.
Which is very smart. It's very smart, and that's the only way you can kind of be successful at something like this, because you never know what you're going to find once you buy a house. So you do have to do your due diligence.
Floors, there could be bodies and stuff down there. I mean, just make me think of John Wayne Gacy.
It must stink down in that basement. But why would that old lady put the house on the market if she was so concerned about the goddamn basement?
I don't know. It's where she hides all her secrets.
That's where all her secrets
and her banana bread recipe.
Yes, and I'm sure it's delicious, but that's not going to make me want to live in her house. Buy this house from her.
Thanks, Julia, for the dream. That was wonderful.
Very descriptive. Thank you. We loved it.
And if this is a real house in your mind that you like, that house that you've been keeping an eye on, send us a picture. We'd love to see it. We'll keep an eye on the price.
Yes, and if you can get a picture of the owner, send that too.
We'll figure out who's correct.
We want to see what she looks like.
Please. If you've had a great dream like Julia, we'd love to hear about it. Something small, maybe a dream story. Tell us about how you caught your stepdad sleepwalking once, whatever it is. I want to know the story. So you can send your dreams and your dream stories to us, and you can do that by emailing remelations@gmail.com. We'll take any great stories, any weird house listings that you want to share, anything like that. Just reach out. We'd love to hear from you.
And stuff from your realtor.
Especially if it's Amber Heard.
Yeah, that's no good.
Let us know.
At least that makes sense that she was representing the crazy lady. I think that tracks.
Yeah. Now I'm thinking that the crazy lady looks like Amber Heard's attorney. Now I've got that. Now I've got that. Vision. Yeah. Okay, we're all full circle. Great.
Now, Mindy, do you have a dream for us today?
I do, and I love this one because this comes from a friend in Canada.
Canada? Love it.
Yes. This comes from Emily from Williams Lake, British Columbia.
Oh, love BC.
Never been to Canada. Would love to go.
Well, that's like Vancouver, so that's supposed to be one of the coolest cities. It's one that I've always wanted to visit, so that's more like above
Have you ever been to Canada?
Oh, yeah. I was...
I'm like looking at you like you have?
Yes.
Nope.
When I was, I think 10. So my mom's from the East Coast originally.
So you were a real party girl.
I was a real party girl in
You're living up the nightlife. Yeah.
I was like, I'm going to Niagara Falls. See ya.
Bye.
No, but our family took, it was like a 3-week trip. We drove out to the East Coast, up the East Coast, went to like DC, and then visited family and friends that they knew. And then we drove up into Niagara Falls and through Canada and back down through Michigan.
Amazing.
I said it like I've been there 1,000 times, but.
Yeah, no. But hey, once counts. Hey, it's checked off your passport.
No, not at 10. I don't think we needed that.
Oh, you didn't have to have one. That's true.
It was pretty easy
we'll just get our own stamp, and I'll just stamp it for you.
Give me a Canada stamp. It's missing. It's missing in my book.
It's probably got like a maple leaf on it, right?
Probably.
I would let us know.
Or a hockey player.
Has anyone or one of those Canadian Mountie guys? So if you've ever traveled to Canada and you get a little stamp, let us know what's on it because we're very curious. Very
curious. I will tell you the one thing I remember crossing the border back then was
I'm sure it's so different now.
Oh, yeah. It's got to be different because you need passport for anything anymore. Yeah. But I just remember they just looked into the back seat and they said, "Are these your parents?" And I said, "Yes."
Could you imagine if you said you're pissed at your mom and you're like, no?
No. But I mean, like, if you were kidnapped, wouldn't you be too scared to, like, say yes anyway? So I'm like, I didn't feel like that was a very efficient question.
No, I think they've probably upped their security since 1990.
I think so.
At least we hope so.
Yeah, I think probably is the case.
All right. Well, back to Emily and her dream.
Emily.
And William's Lake, it sounds like whatever it is, it sounds like a gorgeous place.
Yes.
All right. It begins. I was in this enclosure where there were male lions everywhere. Me and my husband were running from them.
Ooh, don't run.
Yeah. Well, she did. My husband got a little hurt on his right arm and shoulder. We went into this small room that had 3 cages that looked like dog kennels, each with a male lion inside. Lots of lions.
Those have to be a pretty big kennel. What kind of dog can fit in a lion size? You can't get that at like PetSmart.
No, you can't.
That's a special order.
The cages were not locked, so my husband yelled at me to quickly lock the doors. So I did. They all locked at the top of the doors. I locked the first 2, but the third, I had to climb this tall bed. It was like 12 feet in order to lock the third door.
Yikes.
I don't know what kind of room this is. Like
with a
lion
12-foot
cages
bed and a lion.
It's Princess in the Pea type bed. Like it's got all these mattresses. That's what I picture it as.
Yeah, like how is she like just climbing up?
Well,
sounds dangerous.
She said I could see this third lion was trying to paw and get out. And my husband was saying to hurry up. But I kept slipping and falling and not being able to climb this bed. Luckily...
She needs a ladder.
Right? You need like a slingshot. You need a fireman's pole to shimmy up. I don't know. You need something.
Shimmy up.
You need like one of those grappling hooks. I mean, what else can we think of here?
Did you say catapult already?
No, a catapult.
Boom! Right up. Done.
You need those little suction things. You climb up the side of the building like...
I love how we both made different noises.
I know. Mine sounded like knocking. I think yours was more accurate. Anyway, she goes on. But I kept slipping and falling and not being able to climb this bed. Luckily, I kept trying over and over, and I finally made it to the top of it and locked it quickly before the lion was able to get out. Whew.
Good job. That's some perseverance there.
And then we were safe. My pet cat was also in the room with us and had jumped in this hot water in this tub.
What?
I was worried he was going to burn his paws. So like total side things.
What?
Other drama happening here. That her cat.
More cats. Cats of all sizes.
See? Very interesting. I'm going to talk about that.
Okay.
She says, so I filled up the tub with cold water and made my cat stand in it, even though he didn't like it.
I don't think he's going to like a hot bath or cold bath.
Probably neither. And then I let him go, and he ran off to clean himself. And then I woke up. So this is the cat dream extravaganza here.
Cats everywhere. Cats for you. Cats for you. Everyone gets a cat.
Emily, okay, so what a stress dream. I mean, first of all, there's so many cats. You're running. It starts you're running from lions. Brooke,
right.
I know you love animals. What can you tell us about lions?
Don't run from lions because it triggers a predatory response. So when you run, you make yourself look even more like prey. It's true for most animals in the animal kingdom. Like you should never, they say like bears, you should make yourself big and try to scare them and stuff. But really you should never run from anything.
I'd like to not put myself in a position where I'm near any wild animal that wants to eat me. Unless it's behind a cage.
You never know. So you should have some tips in case you are. You camp sometimes, don't you?
Yeah, not recently. But I saw a snake the other day.
Where?
So my youngest daughter and I were taking the dog for a walk, and we were on this like bike path, but it kind of goes by between this like pond and this little stream, and it's kind of like not like really foresty, but kind of overgrown vegetation. And I look down to my right and I just see something move off the, like, right in the corner of my eye. And I must have jumped like 10 feet in the air. I scream like a child. And my daughter, who's 13, is like, what? I'm like, it's a snake, it's a snake, it's a snake. And she starts screaming, it's a snake, it's a snake. And we run like,
Was it was in the grass though, not like by?
No, it was on the bike path. Like it was on like warm. It was like a cool morning, so I think it was like warming on the blacktop, and then just slithered away as soon as I like got. But it was like only a few inches from my foot, and I just.
How big was it?
It was small, but it doesn't matter. It was scary as hell. I don't care if it's like a worm-sized snake.
A worm-sized snake.
You gotta watch out for those worm-sized snakes.
The smaller they are, the more venomous they can be sometimes,
Perhaps.
like scorpions.
Worm-sized
snake.
I don't care. I was not happy. It was, the diameter had to be no more than, a quarter,
Well,
it wasn't, but it was long enough. It was only the tail I saw. And it was like just like a water snake or a gardener snake, but still, no.
I'm glad
no,
you made it out with your life, along with your dog and your daughter.
I'm like sweating right now just talking about this. Like, I am like in a little bit of a sweat. I hate snakes.
Oh, that's just the wine, Mindy.
That's true. But I also hate lions.
Wait, you hate lions?
No, if they were chasing me.
Well, I think anything chasing you wouldn't be like a fan of. I'm like, but
David Duchovny could chase me, and I'd be okay with that.
That's true, and you would maybe want to run a little so you could have him chase after you a little more. That is one predator you can be prey for. Ooh, I tripped. Don't get me.
Who would you trip and fall accidentally for?
100 and 200 and 300% Jensen Ackles. So, hashtag, what does Jensen Ackles dream? Because I'm madly in love with him.
Okay, you're going to have to tell me. Okay.
I know, you're looking at me crazy.
Apologize for not knowing someone that you have a obvious big crush for, but.
Yeah. Well, he was the star of Supernatural.
Okay.
And I love him so much. Like, so much. Then he's done some movies, and now he's on the show The Boys. So now I have to watch that too. But unfortunately, and I don't know what will happen, he was in the movie Rust. So that's the one with the Alec Baldwin.
Yeah.
The accidental shooting.
Yes.
So I don't know if that will ever come out or not. But, oh, baby.
So I'm sure he'll love to tell you what he dreams after he hears this podcast.
Of course. I know he's listening.
Of course he is. So going back to, let's analyze this dream a little bit here. Oh gosh,
I'm so sorry, Emily.
So it starts, she says she's in an enclosure and these lions are chasing her. So it starts kind of, I almost picture it like a zoo enclosure. Like there's a fence or something.
Like maybe she got trapped inside and is like trying to get out or something.
Exactly. But I see the enclosure as being perhaps limited by something in her life. Like she feels like there's like a limit. Like, sure. I can't go beyond where this is. And then we have the lions that are chasing her. And we already talked about lions a little bit. They're very predatory. You think king of the jungle, like very leader, the aggressive type animal, if you think about.
Although I think a tiger could kick a lion's ass.
Tigers versus lions on Discovery Channel.
I have to make my opinion known about certain animals.
I'm okay with that. I love your animal opinions. But I also think, strength and proud. I go to the Lion King because that's pretty much like
your knowledge of lions.
I have children, so I'm thinking Disney movies, right? And there's the mean lions, and then there's the nice lions. But I don't think any of these lions here are nice at all.
Or are they just being lions?
True.
Because, okay. They're being chased, which is obviously scary, but that's what lions do. And then they're being held in some kind of captivity of some sort.
Yes.
Whether it's that first enclosure or when they even get into those smaller cages.
Yeah. But I also think it's interesting she said they were male lions. And I'm curious.
Oh, I missed that part. All of them?
Yes. How she, did she lift their tail?
Well, male lions are the ones with manes.
Okay, I'm just picturing her going around, and that's probably why they chased her, because they're like, lady, give me some privacy here. Emily, please. You're right. Male lions have the big manes,
yes, and
right?
Female lions don't have a mane.
Okay. So
you don't have to lift up their tails.
Okay. But why male lions? Like, I think that's interesting. Like,
I think it's like a bravado thing.
Mm-hmm. Right.
It's almost like birds that have their plumage and they're peacocking or whatever, and
they're
it's like
I think they're peacocks.
They look, but
and
peacocks.
She also mentions she's being chased. She gets into this room and there's 3 lions. So the number 3, let's
hear it.
3 is an angel number. It typically means hope and optimism, and it can also mean something about goals. So I'm wondering, is there maybe a new passion or a new hobby in her life, perhaps? And I'm going to tie this all together in a minute, but what is it that what's her goal? Like, is there something that she's perhaps chasing? Because she's in the end conquering the challenge of getting all these doors locked, all these cages locked.
It is a real challenge. It's almost like she's like legit, like physically compartmentalizing, like with these.
That word always gets us.
I know, every time. We should just stop saying it.
Yeah, we should. Go ahead. Finish your thought. Sorry.
I think that's all I got.
So she's told by her husband. So it's great that her husband's there with her. So she's told to go lock the cages, which is weird because it's like that, I think would be like a natural, like, oh, I should go lock the cages. Not like I had to be told. Like, why are you being told you have to do it?
Right.
But in order to get that third one, she has to climb up in this bed. And it's like, she's trying. She's saying it's taking a while for her, like falling down and like getting back up and falling down and getting back up. I take that as like a really good sign in the dream, meaning that eventually she's going to have some challenges, but she's going to overcome that.
She's got some tenacity, that Emily.
And then we have the mini lions, the kitty cat. Which is like a weird debut at the end of the dream, right? Like,
she mentioned her husband was there the whole time.
Yes.
But not the cat until the very end.
Right. And she was worried about it, the cat. But the cat can mean, I take a family pet as something like home, something about home life.
Yeah,
something comforting, something that's part of your family. Even, animals are parts of families. She was worried about her cat's safety and being in the hot water.
Oh, God.
There's like maybe a little concern there when it comes to like home or like fixing something, perhaps. So that's a lot of symbols.
It is a lot of symbols, but like back to the lions and the cat, the lions might represent just from size, like a bigger problem she's facing, as opposed to maybe her cat is just maybe a little smaller of a problem, but it doesn't make it any less important because she's concerned either way. I
think it's a really interesting way of thinking of it, because it's a little bit different than how I was thinking about it.
Yeah.
I was thinking that, the dream starts off by her being limited in that like enclosure. Yeah. And then we're talking about males. So is there some sort of thing that she feels there's like something that's male dominated, or like a glass ceiling of some sort? Is it like perhaps in her field of work that is maybe more male dominated, or a hobby, or not necessarily males, or is there just like naysayers, like people who are above you that are like, yeah, you know what? You're not that great.
Like you said, she never stops trying throughout the dream. She's running, then she's locking, then she's climbing and falling and getting back
shit
up.
Done.
She got it all done. And then she's like, oh, my cat had a hairball too. I better give him some pets.
Poor kitty. But no, she's got that hope and optimism. And I think she also has the support of her partner, because her partner's there like, let's go lock the doors. Like, let's get something done together.
Where was he? Why was he?
He was just with her.
Okay.
Maybe told her what to do.
That could be something too, like being told by a male.
Advice.
It could be advice, or being like, you have to go lock these cages while I just sit here. You have to struggle up those mattresses while I just sit here. Who knows?
Ooh, that's really deep. It could
and
be.
All male lions, like, it all kind of feels like some kind of suppression.
Yeah, I do feel like that. But at the end, she gets to the top. She locks all the cages, and I just think that like she overcomes that. So whatever she's doing in her career, or perhaps life, or hobbies, or something, passion she's doing, she's going to be like, okay, I'm going to shatter this glass ceiling in a way, to use cliches. She's going to kind of set her own path and be like, well,
I think so too.
I can do this shit. But the last part about her like little cat at home, again, I just think maybe it's just maybe she's worried about like a career and home life balance.
Oh, yeah.
Sometimes because, she's battling all these like big lions.
Right.
But still at the end, she's like, but my little baby kitty needs help too. So I just feel like maybe there's a little balance. Whatever she's pursuing, maybe there's a little bit of balance she's trying to figure out.
Sure. And that's something we all struggle with. So I think that would be probably a very accurate way to interpret that dream.
But Emily, you're kicking ass. Whatever you're doing, whatever you're pursuing.
Get it, girl.
Bitch, go. You go, girl.
I'm proud of you.
We're proud of you. Whatever it is, let us know.
Yeah, she didn't give up,
hype
man.
you up.
Not for a second.
I'll write you a good recommendation for your new promotion.
Yes, whatever it may be. Loves cats, small and large.
Totally takes control. Never gives up.
Very good at running.
Really good at mattress climbing. So good. So good. But thank you, Emily. That was so... Yes. Ooh, kitty cat dream.
Ooh, the only thing better would be like 18 kittens. Like, wasn't there a dream, or was it your dream? You had a dream, didn't you? Were you on a bus and had kittens, or was that?
No, that was a listener dream.
That was a listener dream, and I was like, oh, it's the best dream I've ever heard.
Yes.
Like a bag full of kittens.
I think it's still up there for you, isn't it?
I'll never forget.
Because they had diamonds or something, right? Were they wearing like...
They had tiaras on, I think. Cartier. Wasn't it Cartier?
Cartier kittens. Yeah, that's another good one. If you were a fan of felines of all shapes and sizes and fancy felines, go listen to Cartier Kittens. That was a good dream from one of our listeners.
Good one. Go back. Listen to them all from the beginning. Hey, you're going to like it.
There you go.
I promise. It's a good way to support the show, too. You can do it. We love your support. Anywhere you listen to your podcast, go to us. We're at revelations.com/support. There's many ways you can support us. We're getting new Patreon members all the time. We want you to be part of our sleepover squad, but also you can give us a 5-star review. We appreciate it. Love you guys, and any support you give us is greatly appreciated, so we can continue to be here with you each week. We hope you're as happy with us as we are with our great fans.
Yes.
Thank you.
All of our love. All right. Well, I've got some pod news I would like to bring up. And this is kind of funny because...
I always get excited for pod news.
It's an interesting one. Do you ever Google your name?
I do. Well, I did like a couple times.
Oh, God.
I want to know what comes up. Well, you have a business, though, so I'm sure good stuff comes up for you.
Well, I'm a nerd, so I know that you can set up what are called Google Alerts.
Yes.
And you can search certain terms or keywords, and if something comes up, then you're sent a daily digest of whatever it is. So for like our photography business, I have Google Alerts set up, so if someone mentions us in a review or something, great, I know about it. And if my ex gets arrested for something, I'll know about it.
Fingers crossed.
In the same lines, I set up one for Revelations because I was like, well, if we're mentioning where I want to know. So, this is funny. So we were mentioned on the Jacksonville Public Library website.
Like Jacksonville, Florida?
Jacksonville, Florida. If you are one of our besties from Jacksonville, Florida, and you listen to the podcast, first of all, send us a message. Thank you.
Yes.
We love you. It's funny because we were mentioned in an article. Like, they had like this little blog, and they mentioned it was like national.
I don't even have words. I'm sitting here with my mouth open. Like, what? What is happening?
They were talking about National Public Sleeping Day, and they were going through and saying like, oh, if you like
Public Sleeping Day?
Yes. It's February 28th, if you want to know. National Public Sleeping Day. Which I'm surprised it has a day.
They should at least do it in summer, because what if you don't have an inside to sleep?
Well, in Jacksonville, it's summer all year long, so I get it.
That's true. It's Jacksonville.
Yeah, right. Anyhow.
February 28th it is.
I guess some southern state picked that date.
Yeah, no one
or
in
Australia,
the Midwest
who knows?
or up north.
But anyhow, so they had this, it looks like their teen program director or whatever compiled this list of things you can read about sleeping or dreams. And it said, read this. And it said, listen to this. And then we were listed Revelations. And I tell Mark this, and he goes, wait, do they actually listen to your podcast? Do they know how much you swear? Are you sure you want to be recommending that to teenagers?
How much we swear and drink?
Maybe they didn't.
Hey, I'll take a shout out no matter where it comes from. Thanks, Jacksonville.
So thanks, Jacksonville Public Library. And if you're a bestie down there, we appreciate the shout out. I thought that was fun.
That was
quite a shock to see that pop up on my Google Alerts.
Let's see what are the weirdest Google alerts we can come up with. Hopefully more keep coming in.
Oh lordy. Brooke Althouse and Mindy Pollock are arrested. Publicly sleeping.
What does show up when you Google yourself besides your business? Anything?
Mostly my business. I mean, I think there's a dentist somewhere with my name, but other than that, I think it's mostly my business. I mean, oh great. Maybe we shouldn't say this because people are going to start Googling us and find all these deep, dark secrets.
I don't really have any deep
Moving along.
Mine is literally like, this is so sad that this is mine. It's like 1/3 place in a haiku contest in 1994. I'm like, I have literally
I remember this.
done nothing further with my life since 1994.
Wait, no, I do remember this because this is when we were friends.
This is right when we were becoming friends.
Do you remember the haiku?
I do. Do you remember
the
haiku?
I was so proud of you. Would you like to share that with our bestie out there?
I will. And I just want to note that I did not do it in typical haiku format because, I mean, it's me. So I had to be a little creative, because it's like
a little different.
3 lines and there's so many syllables per line. Mm-hmm. But
yet you won this contest. They were like, they didn't throw you out because you didn't follow the rules of a haiku. They're like, let's give it to this girl because she's breaking all the rules.
And maybe that's why I got 3rd place and not 1st place. But my haiku.
But let's let our bestie decide here. Okay. We're going to have to put a poll out. Should this have deserved first?
My haiku is mountains, the horizon. But listen, think about it. Think about it. Okay?
I'm already laughing.
Let's picture it. What does the horizon look like? It's just a flat line. That's why I only did 1 line of my haiku. The line also represented the horizon. And I won $75, so I technically make $25 a word.
Damn.
Because it was only 3 words long. I should have stuck with that.
If you bring that to today's money, that's like $200.
Should have stuck with my haiku career.
So you only had 2 lines in your haiku.
1 line. Just literally mountains, the horizon. 1 line. Because it represented the horizon. 1 line.
I'm speechless. It doesn't happen often. I'm speechless. I do remember you winning.
You were present during this time.
I was?
Well, no, I mean like during this time.
I wasn't at the haiku ceremony. I'm
there
sorry.
Was no ceremony. It was a national contest, and they just sent you your money, and then they published it in a book. I think.
We gotta find that book.
I will autograph it
at Friends of the Jacksonville Public Library.
Do you have?
Can you
a book of
help us out here? Maybe haiku winners. We got to get someone on that. Our bestie down there in Florida. Let us know.
Let us know, please.
If you can find this book.
I will autograph it for you happily.
Oh, hell yeah.
Only if you steal it from the library.
Oh, shit. Do you ever, when you were in, do you ever rack up, I'm going to see how I say this. I have a good story. Do you ever rack up library fines?
I didn't, Mindy. I was pretty good. I was pretty good.
I was awful about library books. Awful.
Like would you lose them or just?
Well, let me start by giving you a present day story, and then we'll go back in time.
This is present day. Okay.
Present day story. There's a library book that my daughter had borrowed from our public library. It's, I think, at least now 3 months overdue. It's sitting right on my entryway console that I walk by and get my keys to my car, and yet it's still sitting there. So the library just sent me a notice saying that, hey, you owe us $27.
Wait, what?
But I'm sure.
I thought library fees were like 3 cents.
Well, after so long. Okay, that was in 1990, Brooke. I'm sure they're more than 3 cents today. But
But $27, that's worth more than
that's
the book.
Price. No, that's the price of the book. So if it's a hardback,
a hardcover. Okay.
So if you don't return it within so long, there's like, okay, now here's the price of the book. Okay, well, I'm going to return it eventually.
I would get on that right away, Mindy.
Okay. Well, I know. I even said it tonight. I drove by the library on my way home from getting the kids ice cream. And I was like, damn it, should have grabbed that book. But my parents will appreciate this story. So when I was a freshman in high school, I tried out for the cheerleading squad. And it was the summer. Well, it was right before we met because it would have been the summer before my freshman year. Yeah. And I went to the library because there was no internet.
Not
youngins.
Yet. Not
there
yet,
was no
peeps.
internet. And so I went to the library to read some books about cheerleading, so I knew what to expect.
Oh, well, look at you doing your research.
And I probably took the public bus there.
Probably. Where did you have your rollerblades on?
Probably not that time. I probably just hopped the green line to the transfer station onto the yellow line to the library or something good like that. Mm-hmm.
She knows all the lines.
So I rented like 3 cheerleading books. I guess there was a section. And I was like, okay, these look good. They had pictures, diagram, how to do each jump. Like this is a toe touch. This is a herky. This is a pyramid.
Very useful.
I should have known better at the age of 13, 14. You're not supposed to cut out pictures from library books.
What did you do? You took out the diagrams?
I cut out all the pictures.
No,
and then my mom.
Did you make like a poster board?
I probably did. I probably made a binder with ideas or something stupid like that. But I don't own the books, so that was not the appropriate thing to do. And then my mom got this. She kept saying, like, you gotta return those library books. I'm like, okay, yep, I'll return those, Mom. And I never did because obviously, for
they wouldn't accept
obvious reasons,
them.
I could not. I mean, they probably wouldn't have checked now looking back.
But I'm guessing somebody would have reported it that tried to read it. Be like, hey, all the pictures are gone. Who was the last person that had this book?
Who is the creep that has some pedophilia issue with cheerleaders that cut all these cheerleader pictures?
Like, no, it's
just
okay.
me.
She's just making poster boards.
And so I never returned the books. My mom got like a library fine of like $70 or something ridiculous. I don't know whatever happened. Mom, I'm so sorry. I apologize.
God, I hope you got a spanking. I mean, just kidding. I know you were like 13. That's a lot.
Yeah.
Was it worth it? Did you learn that much from those pictures?
I made the cheerleading squad.
You did, but did you learn? I guess it was worth it.
I guess it was worth it.
I just like, how well can you do that stuff without formal training? By just looking at the pictures, but I'm proud that you did it. You made the squad.
I made it all 4 years. Just cost me $70.
And different skirts every year, right?
Well, if you're lucky, you got the new skirts of ours. They always got the new ones.
Oh. I kind of liked the freshman ones.
Oh my God. If I find a picture, I will post this on Instagram because nothing screams 90s than a rugby cheerleader shirt. Long sleeves.
Yeah, why did you have to wear a long sleeve shirt?
It had a collar.
That's so weird because
it had a collar.
It did have a collar, and the other years you didn't have to wear the long sleeve shirt.
I don't know what they were thinking.
It was like a regular cheerleading top, right?
I don't know.
They're just trying to really give it to the freshmen, like point them out.
Yep.
Rude.
Long sleeve, collared cheerleading shirts.
Like tucked into your skirt.
Welcome to Catholic school. Yeah. I don't know. But anyhow, thank you again to the Jacksonville Public Library for bringing me down that memory road. And I promise not to rent any books from your library.
They won't. They've already got like a big red alert. Like if you give them your ID.
They're like, no.
Like they're going to swarm you.
She cuts out pictures.
She cuts out pictures. Like, get her out of here.
But you have to understand the time. You know, we didn't have internet. You couldn't just print pictures. It was a different world.
Yeah, I get it. But I maybe take a photocopy instead.
That probably would have been a better idea.
And those are probably like a dime.
Yeah,
so you probably would have saved money over the $70.
Okay, fine. You're right. Okay, damn it. Now thanks for pointing out my 13-year-old stupidity, Brooke. I'm going to go cry.
Hey, we could spend all day here if we had to point out our stupidities as a kid.
Oh, lordy. Okay. Well, I have a little topic I want to talk about tonight.
Please.
Oh, okay. You know me and these little fun topics.
I love them.
This is going to be a multi-parter because there's a lot of these things that that I'm going to talk about. And I'm just going to talk about a few. And if you guys enjoy it, I will do a second part to this. This is what I'm calling sleep sayings.
Ah, okay.
I mean, most of these are idioms or similes. So the first one is good night, sleep tight. You've said it?
Oh, yeah.
Many times. Your parents probably said it to you.
Yeah.
You say it to your own children. Why does it exist? Any idea?
It's because, wasn't it because you had to keep the sheets real tight around you for protection against, like, bugs and stuff?
That I don't know, but I guess, like, a classic explanation, or one that's been, like, used before, is it relates to medieval beds because they had ropes for they're like rope strung. So like wherever you put your hay or mattress or whatever, I guess it wasn't a mattress back then, but they would be
Sleep
like
tight.
rope under it. And so these beds, instead of springs, used ropes that had to be tied tightly to keep it like in place. So that's like one idea where this came from. But I liked this in my research, and we'll post all of the links to these resources on our show notes. I liked this because it said, a passive-aggressive way to kick out guests who had stayed their welcome was common for maids to loosen these strings to make sleep more uncomfortable.
Wow.
Those bitches were like, bye, get out.
That is very
Time to leave.
passive-aggressive, but hey,
like
good
it.
night's sleep
Totally get it.
is worth so much, so if you're not sleeping well, you'll probably get out of there.
But they also say that may or may not be true, but the first time it was ever used in writing was in the mid-18th century. A woman by the name of Susan Bradford Epps, in her diary, wrote something about sleeping tight. So in her diary, she wrote, all is ready, and we leave as soon as breakfast is over. Goodbye, little diary. Sleep tight, wake bright, for I will need you when I return.
Huh.
So that's one of the first times that in written documentation,
right,
said sleep tight.
Boy, she had no idea that it would still be around today, hundreds of years later.
She could have won a haiku.
I don't know. I don't think it's as good as Mountains the Horizon. I mean, sure, it sounds pretty good, but people are going to be saying Mountains the Horizon for like the next few hundred years.
Forever and ever. They're like, where did that first come from? Oh yeah, Brooke Althouse, third place. Got it.
Third place. $25 a word.
But also the use of tight and sleep tight can also be traced back to Shakespeare, one of our another favorite writer.
Is he your favorite writer?
No. I don't know.
Not even close to mine either.
Way too many thous and theys and the arts. But he's used the word tight to mean stable, secure, and soundly. So the word tight may also mean still, like one would recognize from the phrase that would appear, such as military garments or sails. So like sails were tight. So it meant like, like taut, like very, do not move. So before using as a standalone term in the 19th centuries, things like sit tight. Tight always meant without movement then. So they're not sure if it really had to do with the ropes beds, but more so maybe.
It could be all of them. It just is something that has changed over time. Hey, it's still a thing like today in slang. You can be like, that's tight.
That
means
tight.
That's good.
Brooke, you're looking tight tonight.
No, I'm not. But thank you for trying.
I like your silk jammies though. Those are very cute. Are those new?
I got them at the same time as my lovely pink ones that I wore on our live show.
I like them.
I got like 3 sets because they're so comfy and they are like $10 each.
Speaking of live shows, if you want to see our live show, we have that up on our Patreon. You can go join our sleepover squad and see us live telling crazy stories.
It's a weird, random one, but I think everyone should experience it. So,
first of hopefully many.
First of hopefully very many, yes.
All right. Well, the next term I want to chat about is called, like, have you ever heard 40 winks?
Yeah, but I don't know what the origination is from it. 40 winks. What do you think that would be? Don't know.
So it means to take a nap, like a short sleep.
Yeah.
Since the 14th century has been used to denote a short nap or sleep. But the 40 winks may have a biblical reference.
Oh, okay.
The phrase is related to the 39 Articles, which was written by the Church of England in the 16th century. So these were articles, they were established rules for prospective clergymen that they had to accept prior to being like ordained into the church.
Sure.
So they're supposed to be really boring to read.
Probably correct.
39 rules.
It's a lot of rules,
Good night.
people. Is that, do you fall asleep when you're reading them?
Exactly. So the first recorded use of the phrase appeared in 1872 edition of Punch magazine.
Oh. Punch. Ow.
Said, if a man, after reading the 39 articles, were to take 40 winks. Like, it was so boring. So he had to take 40 winks.
Got it. That makes sense. This is very informative.
Right. They're not sure how it evolved to take 40 winks or catch 40 winks, because most people use those terms interchangeably. Like,
right.
Donate and pledge.
Oh.
Like Amber Heard.
The realtor?
Because you can donate to buy a house, or you could pledge to buy. They're the same thing. So they say, you know, whether you say take 40 winks or catch winks, both are used.
It's like a cat nap.
So did you have a chance to take 40 winks today, Brooke, being that you're recovering from the COVID?
I took way more than 40 winks.
Did you take like 60?
I slept for like 6 hours in the middle of the day.
Lord. I was wondering why you weren't texting me back.
I know. You could expect texts from me at all hours of the day. You never know what my sleep cycle's going to be. But I'm literally just so exhausted that I just fell asleep. And I was like, oh, maybe I'll wake up around noon or something. And it was like 3:00. Yeah.
Well, good. You should take 40 more tomorrow. You shall just read those 39 articles, and then you shall sleep for 40.
I don't think I need to read them. I think I'll just take some Tylenol PM and be on my way.
Both works.
On my way.
Both works. But I think it's interesting how most of these terms have a very early start in like the 15th, 16th century, and then like somehow evolve over the years, and it's still something we say today.
Right. It is crazy. And I noticed that, like, just what you said, a lot of them had very, very early, but then a lot of them seemed to come into more modern times in the 1800s, it seemed like.
Yeah.
A lot of them, like, modern version of it or kind of a more modern interpretation of it all happened in the 1800s, which was crazy. A lot of stuff happening. It makes sense.
Well, I hope you get 40 winks tonight.
You too, my dear.
And you, good night, sleep tight. Bitches.
Sleep
no,
tight.
We're at the end. We're almost the end. We're almost the end. So, well, that's all I have for tonight. But if you enjoyed hearing how some of these terms came along, let us know, and we will share some more in a future episode. Like bed bugs and sleeping like babies.
More good stuff to come.
If you are enjoying the show, we would love for you to tell your bestie about the show, because you're our bestie, and we want you to tell your bestie about the show. So take a moment, get out your phone, send a little text, tag them on Instagram. I don't care what you want to do, but you need to tell them that this podcast is the place to be.
Kicks ass.
Tell your bestie. Tell your partner that you're running away from lions from and with. Just run together, lock the cages, and then tell your partner after the cages are locked.
Yeah. Get it done first.
Yeah. Very important. Tell your favorite real estate agent and tell your local librarian about the podcast. Because the more you share this show, the more we grow, the more we rank higher on the charts, and the more episodes and good content and fun dreams we can bring you each and every week.
We love it. I don't know why. Thank you so much, Julia and Emily, for sharing your dreams with us. We had a great time chatting about them today.
And we can't wait to be back with you again next week, bestie, when we read more listener dreams. But until then,
sweet dreams, bitches. Sleep tight, bitches.
Oh, I'm keeping that in there.